Morning, everybody. As you see on your screen, we are the student of the University of Rwanda, College of Agricultural Animal Science and Veterinary Medicine. We study at Usobo campus in the Department of Agriculture Economics and Agricultural Business. We are students of year 1 and we have a module which is called Basics of Environmental Science and a component of climatology. We are a group and we are going to present on the topic called humidity. In this topic of humidity, we are going to focus on different points where we are going to see what is humidity is, types of humidity, impact of the humidity on the crop plant, and the factors that affect humidity. And the last point is about the relationship between humidity and the temperature. So before we start, we have what we can call an interactive quiz. This quiz will help everyone who listen and follow the presentation to catch up on to get a full meaning and skills of what we are going to present. In this quiz, there is a question and everyone is allowed and must follow in order to get the skills related to the humidity. So let us start with the introduction. In the introduction, we are going to define what humidity is. In this definition, we say that the humidity refers to the concentration of the water vapor present in the air. This means that once you see a water vapor present in the air without seeing the visible or physical water, we call it a humidity. So you can't get humidity without getting an air and which is concentrated with the water vapor. And you see that the level of humidity in the air is determined by the factors such as temperature, pressure, and amount of water vapor present in the air. This means that you can't describe or explain humidity itself without focusing on the other factors which are mentioned above. So here you see the picture which shows what we discussed in our group and what we are going to base our presentation, where we see the types of humidity, factors that affect humidity, and so many others. And you have another picture which shows what humidity is and why we call it a concentration of water vapor in the air. It's because you see that in this air there is a water vapor, and that water vapor are present in the air. Once the water vapor is concentrated with once the air is concentrated with the water vapor, we call it a humidity. So you can't say a humidity without availability of the air. We see another picture which shows the humidity in terms of air. As I have said in the previous slide, I say that you can't see the humidity without availability of air. That's why we call it humidity and we focus on the humidity in terms of air. The next slide is about the types of humidity. We have different types of humidity, how they differ from others. That's why I'm going to welcome my colleague Mrs. Emery and continue to focus and explain the different types of humidity.
Thank you. I'm Emery Nwase. I'm going to continue with the types of the humidity. The first one is called absolute humidity. And absolute humidity is the total mass of water vapor present in given volume or mass of air. It is expressed in gram per cubic meter or gram per kilogram of air. And absolute humidity provides a direct measure of the actual amount of water vapor in the air, regardless of the temperature. The second type is called relative humidity. Relative humidity is the percentage and compares the actual amount of water vapor present in the air to the maximum amount it can hold at the specific temperature. Relative humidity, there is no unit. It is expressed as the percentage. The warmer air can hold more moisture than cooler air, so relative humidity vary with temperature. It indicates how the closer the air is the saturation. Here there is the picture that shows the relative humidity with the temperature. As we see, when the temperature increases, relative humidity decreases. The factor that affecting relative humidity, the first one is called amount of water. If you increase the amount of water in the air by adding it due to the evaporation, relative humidity will goes up. The second factor is temperature. Since warm air can hold more water than cold air, if you lower the temperature, the relative humidity will goes up, even if you don't add more water. The last type of humidity is called specific humidity. Specific humidity is the ratio of water vapor mass to the total moisture air per cell mass. It is also expressed in gram per kilogram and provide a measure of the weight of water vapor contained in a unit weight of dry air. Here there is the difference between absolute and relative humidity. On the side of absolute humidity, the actual amount of water vapor present in the air is commonly referred to in absolute humidity, while relative humidity is the percentage of the amount of moisture the air could possibly hold. Absolute, it is expressed in moisture per cubic meter of air, but relative humidity, it is expressed in the percentage as the ratio of vapor pressure to the saturated vapor pressure. And absolute humidity is totally independent of the temperature, while relative humidity it focuses on temperature. When the temperature goes up, relative humidity goes down, and when the temperature goes down, relative humidity goes up. Thanks. Let's welcome the next presenter to continue with the factors that affecting the humidity.
Okay, thank you. Before we discuss about the factors that affect humidity, let us first of all discuss about the impact of the humidity on the crop plant. The crop plant has a different impact which may be positive or negative. First of all, we have what we call photosynthesis support. The humidity can support photosynthesis because when there is a humidity, stomata can open because there is no loss of humidity. And once when stomata opens, it facilitates the gases exchange where the carbon dioxide is exchanged in and the oxygen is released out. So this helps to increase the photosynthesis rate, which increases the photosynthesis production. Another one, it is optimal transpiration. Optimal transpiration, it is when the transpiration may be necessary for the plant which required to be dry before harvested. So it's required to transpirate or to lose the water in order to be harvested. Another positive impact of the humidity on the plant, it is prevention of the water stress. By maintaining the adequate moisture in the air, the plants can regulate their water balance more effectively, reducing the risk of wilting and dehydration. This is prevention. For this point. We know that most of the diseases are caused by the pathogens, and some of the pathogens tend to thrive in the wet areas, which is very, very wet, or in the area which is very very dry. So when there is a humid or optimum humidity, most of that pathogens, it is difficult for them to survive, which reduce or prevent the disease for the plants. Another one, which is the last important of the humidity on the plant, it is enhanced nutrient uptake. Once the nutrient uptake, it is the necessary process for the plant. This process may be effective once there is available water. This process of nutrient uptake starts when the plant absorbs the nutrient, and that nutrient must be dissolved in water before it is absorbed by the plant through use of the plant roots and the root hairs. So when there is the optimal humidity, it tends to regulate the optimum water needed by the plant, and that optimum water can facilitate the uptake of the nutrients. As you see in this picture, we see the process of the nutrient uptake for the plant. First of all, the large amount of nutrient necessary for the plant available in the soil, and that nutrient, in order to be absorbed and used in the photosynthesis process, it can be first of all dissolved in the water and absorbed by the root hair in forms of a solution of water and other nutrients. So that nutrient are dissolved in water and absorbed by root hairs. Once they are absorbed, they are transported by the xylem tissues or xylem tubes, and that tubes transport that nutrient from the root to the different photosynthesis sites of the plant, and that nutrient facilitates the photosynthesis. So the humidity positively, it is somehow good for the plant, but when it is at high level, it becomes negative. That's why I'm going to welcome the next presenter to continue and discuss about the negative impact of the humidity on the plant.
Thanks. Let me continue for the negative impact of humidity on the crop plant. The first one, it is called increase the risk of disease. High humidity creates a favorable environment for the growth of fungal disease such as powder mildew, down mildew, and the botrytis. This disease can damage plant tissue, reduce photosynthesis, and ultimately lead to the stunted growth or even death of the plant. The second one is called the reduced transpiration. Excessively high humidity level can hinder the transpiration process in a plant. When transpiration is limited due to the high humidity, plant may struggle to absorb nutrient efficiently, leading to the nutrient deficiency and the poor growth. The third one is called stunted growth. High humidity can result in reduced evapotranspiration rate in a plant. Evapotranspiration is crucial for maintaining turgor pressure in a plant cell and facilitating nutrient transport. When evapotranspiration is compromised due to the high humidity, plant may experience stunted growth, weak stems, and overall reduced vigor. Also, there is another negative impact called decreased photosynthesis. Photosynthesis requires carbon dioxide intake through stomata opening on leaves. In high humidity conditions, stomata may remain closed to prevent water loss through transpiration, limiting the intake of carbon dioxide needed for photosynthesis. This reduction in photosynthetic activity can lead to the decreased energy production and overall plant productivity. Also, there is other negative impact called pest infestations. High humidity level attract pests such as fungus, gents, aphids, and spider mites that thrive in a moist environment. These pests can damage plant tissue, feed on sap, and transmit disease, further compromising the health and growth of the plant. There is another negative impact called root loss. Excessive moisture in the soil resulting from the high humidity level can lead to root loss in a plant. Root rot is caused by fungi, pathogens that thrive in the water-logged conditions, leading to decay the plant root and impaired nutrient absorption. Here there is the figures that show how the negative impact affect the plant. For the first, figures show the little humidity how affect the plant. For our figures show that the leaves change the color from the green color to the brown when there is the little humidity. Also the flower of the plant start to fall down when there is little humidity. For the second features show when there is a high humidity, the flower of the plant covered with the gray mold. Thanks. Let's welcome Mrs. Joseline to continue with the factors influencing humidity.
Thank you. I'm Joseline Eneomukiza. I'm going to continue about factors influencing humidity. The first factor is temperature. Temperature plays a significant role in determining humidity level, as warmer air has the capacity to hold more water vapor than cooler air. As the temperature increases, the air's ability to retain moisture also increases, leading to higher humidity level. And when the temperature decreases, the abilities of air to retain moisture air also decrease, and it leads to lower humidity level. The second factor is location. Here, the availability of water bodies such as lakes, ocean, rivers can impact the levels of humidity in an area. The areas which are closer to the larger water bodies tend to have higher humidity due to increased evaporation and the moisture content in the air. The next point is time of the day. Humidity level fluctuates throughout the day based on temperature variation. Relative humidity, as we've seen in the type of humidity, is typically highest around sunrise when temperatures are lower and decrease as temperatures rise during the day, reaching its lowest point in the afternoon. The next point is weather condition. Here, weather patterns such as rainfall, foggy, or clear skies can affect humidity level. As rainfall adds the moisture to the air, increasing humidity, while clear sky and dry condition can also lead to lower humidity level. The next point is seasonal variation. Here, the different seasons experience a varying level of humidity due to change in temperature and the weather patterns. For example, in the summertime, we have higher humidity compared to winter time, as we see in this paragraph. Thank you. Let me invite the next presenter to continue about other factors.
Thank you very much. I'm here to continue factors that influence humidity. I'm Jean Bonigaba. I'm group members for this group. Next point, altitude. Altitude, which can influence humidity. As high region or high mountain may be to fact that influence humidity. Different seasons experience varying
level of humidity due to change in temperature and weather pattern. For example, summer months often have high humidity compared to winter months. Next point, wind pattern. Wind pattern, which and how factors that influence humidity. Wind can influence humidity by transporting moisture from one area to another. Windy conditions may lead to change in local humidity level depending on where air is coming from. Next point, pressure. Atmospheric pressure can affect humidity by influencing the rate at which water evaporates or condenses. As pressure, we mean high pressure and low pressure. High pressure systems generally promote clear skies and lower humidity levels, while low pressure systems may lead to cloud formation and increase the humidity. Next point, vegetation and land cover. As you know, vegetation and land cover impact humidity flow processes like transpiration and evaporation. Where plants release water vapor into the atmosphere, increased evapotranspiration rate compared to arid and semi-arid and semi-urban areas with forest vegetation covers. Last point, human activities. Human activities like bush burning, cutting tree, irrigation can affect humidity. Human activities such as industrial process in agriculture, urbanization can contribute to change in local humidity levels, like deforestation, irrigation practice, pollution can natural moisture cycle and impact regional humidity patterns. So let me continue about colleagues to continue.
Hello, good morning. My name is Hategekimana Eugene and I'm from Group 7. So I'm going to continue with a relationship between humidity and temperature. The first point is inverse proportionality. So this means as temperature increases, relative humidity decreases, and this can lead to drier air. So if temperature also decreases, relative humidity increases, and this can result into moister air. The second point is relative humidity. So as we have seen from the previous slide, we have seen relative humidity depends on temperature. So this means relative humidity is a key indicator of the moisture content in the air concerning its temperature. So it expressed as percentage and represents the ratio of actual water vapor present in the air to the maximum amount of water vapor that can held at temperature. So when relative humidity reach 100%, it becomes saturated. The next point is dew point. So the dew point is the temperature at which air becomes saturated with moisture, leading to the condensation and potentially precipitation. It indicates the point at which air cannot hold any more water vapor. The relationship between relative humidity and dew point is direct, with the higher dew point correlating to the higher moisture content in the air. The next is effect on comfort, which means higher temperature with high humidity can make individual feels hot due to reduced evaporative cooling from sweat, while lower temperature with high humidity can lead to damp chill. So I think this is understandable. So then next point is impact on flora and fauna. temperature and humidity plays a significant role in shaping ecosystem by influencing plant growth, animal behavior, and overall biodiversity. So the relationship also can be shown by the variation of the factors that can impact species distribution and survival. So the following graph shows how humidity and temperature can vary. And the curve also shows the link between humidity and the temperature, where the blue curve shows temperature and that one shows humidity. So I'm going to continue with the solution to the quiz provided from the previous slides. The first question was asking, what is humidity? The answer is, humidity refers to the concentration of water vapor present in the air. The second question is, what is the difference between relative humidity and absolute humidity? The solution is, relative humidity is the measure of water vapor in the air regardless of temperature, while relative humidity is water vapor related to the temperature of the air. Absolute humidity also is expressed as gram of moisture per cubic meter of air, while relative humidity is expressed as percentage and indicated the actual moisture content compared to the potential moisture content at a given temperature. So the third question is, why does it feel hotter when it's humid? The answer is, our body naturally cools itself by sweating so that the ambient air evaporating that sweat cools down. When there is high humidity in the atmosphere, a higher dew point, sweat does not evaporate as much and our body struggles to cool itself because there is not as much sweat evaporating. So that's why we feel hotter. The fourth question is, humidity a measure of amount of, so it is a multiple choice question. Humidity is a measure amount of water vapor in the air. So the answer is D. The fifth also is a multiple choice question. Humidity is amount of what in the air? Answer is A, water vapor. The fifth questions, what are the types of humidity? So we have relative humidity, absolute humidity, and specific humidity. So as a conclusion, I have seen the meaning of humidity, types of humidity, factors influencing humidity, impact of positive and negative impact of humidity. We have seen the difference between relative humidity and absolute humidity. We have also seen the relationship between humidity and the temperature, and so on. So this is the end of our presentation. Thank you for your kind attention. Let me stop here.
Export.